Hi, my name is Terry Lee from Sweet Pea Papers, and it's Friday, so that means it's another page in our page by page by collaboration with Kyung Shotwell. Now, Kyung is going to be making a page this Friday too, and I say this Friday because I'm filming this on Tuesday. And all of her links are below, so be sure to check out her page for this week, and then also check out her Etsy shop where she has tons of wonderful digital kits and also tons of wonderful journals that she's made and items that you can use to make your own journals. Okay, so this week, let me move this out of the way. Actually, let me put it up here. This week in our journal is week 27. So this is 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 26. So, 21. This is 21. Page 20 was the last page in our previous signature. So if you want to see those first 20 pages, then check out the Sweet Pea Papers YouTube channel, and there's a tutorial for each one of those pages. Also, if you would like a PDF that details step by step how I made every page, all the way from 0 through what will be 27, then you can get that at the Facebook group only. So then go to Facebook groups, facebook.com/groups/Sweet Pea Papers. I cannot talk this morning, so get ready. Page 27 is opens on the right side, so we're going to have to remember that for anything that we do. Okay, so we're going to close that up for now. We're not going to use it for now. I'm going to set it to the side. And then this is everything we're going to use to make this page. The prompt is foil, and I don't have any foil. I have no idea why I picked this prompt. But I am going to cheat, and I'm going to use tin foil. So we're going to use our crocodile, our eyelets, and this really cool shoe charm because it's going to go with the beauty on the page. The only problem is I've got the silver chain, but I don't have a silver eyelet to use with the crocodile. My silver eyelets are on order, and they are on back order, and they won't be here until Monday. So I'm going to put the tab on, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do. And I'm going to I'm going to punch the hole. I'm going to do everything but put the eyelet in, and then we'll set this charm aside, and then I will put it on the page on Monday, and then I will upload a picture of it with the charm on it, in addition to posting the video on Friday. Okay, so we're going to set these to the side. I'm going to put my charm up here so it doesn't get lost. So we're going to put these to the side. Kind of upsets me that I don't have one of these eyelets in the right color, but we'll have to see. I ordered it in the cool colors because I want to be cool. And that should have a silver in it. Okay, if not, I'll come back and do gold, and then do the silver shoe, and just do silver and gold. All right, I'll have no choice. So what we're going to use today are die cuts, which I know was the prompt in previous pages with Miss P, and I used a die cut in one of the previous pages in this book, and I think it was the previous page, no, the page before that, so that would be page 25, but we need it for this video as well. Okay, we may use this piece of lace. All right, this is our page for today, or our paper for today, and it comes from Janie B Journals. It's called Deco. It's an Art Deco theme. This is where we punched out a hole with our Big Shot, which we're going to use today, and this is my trial hole to see if it worked. And then of course here's my tin foil, and yes, you can punch holes with your Big Shot out of tin foil. Go figure. I had to try it out to see if it would work. This is our base page that we're going to glue this page to, or paper, and then we're going to glue these together to the page in the book. So obviously we don't need this right now either, so we're going to set this to the side. So our premise for today is Broken Beauty. So we're going to we've made this circle, you and I, out of the paper that's the other half of this page, and then we're going to put a little silver in the middle so that it looks like a mirror, and we're going to place that over her cosmetic mirror to look like she's looking in this larger mirror. Okay, and then the rest is going to be a surprise. Okay, I keep saying okay, like I'm asking your opinion. I'm sorry, I've already made up my mind. This is what we're gonna do. Oh, I can set the crocodile aside because we won't be doing that until we do our hole for our eyelet. Okay, so now the first thing we need to do is make more of these. All right, and oh, by the way, I used bundled sage to ink around the main paper. We're going to use it to ink around these as well. We do this one while I'm thinking about it. We're going to have several more of these. One of my favorite colors is bundled sage. Make sure we got enough. Okay, so you're going to be able to see that against there. I may do a little bit more so that it stands out a little bit better. The whole purpose of making the mirror out of the other half of the page is so that it matches. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, and these are the die that I used, they're the two smallest circles that I have. I used one for the mirror itself, and I used the little one for the quote-unquote glass in the mirror. Okay, so let's set our bundled sage up here for just a minute. We'll move our lace and our die cut out of the way. Our die out of the way. Plural of die is die. Go figure. Sort of like deer is deer. And fish is fish, not fishes. All right, so you have to be careful with your tin foil so that it doesn't get really wrinkled, so you can't really pick it up like this. So I'm going to have to slide it to the edge of the work area and then pick it up. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to try using Fabri-Tac to glue our piece of aluminum foil to this. Now I probably should have tried this first to make sure it worked, and didn't melt it, but I thought I would try it with you guys. If this doesn't work, we're going to make a whole new video. Looks like it's going to work and not melt anything. So now we're going to glue it to the center. Oops. Glue it to the center of this circle. Let's give it a second to dry. We want to smooth it out the best we can. So just take your finger and do it around in a circle, trying not to move your circle, which I did. Put it back there. All right, then we're going to take the whole circle, which is her mirror, and then we're going to glue it over her little cosmetic mirror so that it looks like she's looking into the larger mirror. Okay, so let's do that. We're going to have to put it at the tippy top of her fingers so it looks like she's holding it without letting the cosmetic mirror show. And I realize her eyes are shut, but out of the deco kit, she's the only one that would look like this, and perhaps she's got her eyes closed because she doesn't like what she sees. This is the premise of the page. Okay, so now we're going to take our Big Shot. And to cut the tin foil, I used a shim, which is a piece of something that raises up the two plastic plates, and it will help give us a little more thickness to cut out the tin foil. And then to cut out this, I just used the larger die and just cut out holes. So we're going to need at least 3 more. So I'm going to show you how I did it, and then I'll put you on hold and I'll make a couple more. How about that? So let's get my Big Shot out. That's big. That would be why they call it a Big Shot, I would imagine. I'm going to set my die out of the way for right now. This is my shim. It's just a piece of, it's the back of a thin, oh, what do you want to call it? Actually, it's a piece of, not cardstock, but the next thicker one, craft paper, that I was going to use as a page in my book, one of my books, but it didn't really work. So this is folded over once, and I don't know if that helps make it a shim or not, but it's thick enough that it raises it up just enough that that it gives it a little more depth to cut out our thinner pieces. Now, also, this shim works so that I can use the thicker embossing folders that I got from AliExpress that do not play well with this machine. So what we're going to do, it doesn't matter where, as long as we have a smooth spot. We're going to put it, let me make sure it's on camera. Let me move it over a little bit. The way this works is you put 2 pieces of these plastic plates on the piece of equipment, on the carrier piece, which is thicker, okay? And then you put the die on there, and then you crank the whole thing through. The blades on the die cut the hole or the square or the flower shape or whatever shape it is you want, and then you can use it in your project. So let's put the die on there. That would be good. We're going to put it right on the tin foil. Make sure everything's flat. We're going to put the top piece of plastic on here. And like I said, it doesn't matter where on the tin foil, so I don't have to washi tape it down or anything like that. So we're going to run it through. Let me give it a little push so that it catches. There it goes. We're going to run it through. You might hear a little noise as the die blades get pushed down. There we go. And we run it out the other side until it's loose and we can get a hold of it without it still being in the machine. We take the top one off, and we take the tin foil off, and it also in the process irons it and irons it out flat. So then we carefully remove the die, and then we carefully remove the piece of tin foil, which is cut out. It just doesn't really look like it is from the piece of tin, the bigger piece of tin foil. So there we've got one. Well, maybe I'll show it to you more than once. Okay, you can do it back through the other way. So let's put our die back on. Remember to put the blade side down. The blades are the part that have the little raised areas. Those are actually the blades. So let's do one more. And then we're going to crank it the other way as soon as we get it to feed in there. Let's get them all straight. There we go. Sorry if you can see the top of my head. So we're going to crank it back through. There it goes. We're going to keep cranking until it lets go. There we go. can pull it out. Sorry you can't see that, it's off camera. This is kind of a large piece of equipment. So we take this off. We take the die off. Then you can see it doesn't look like it's cut out, but it is. You just put your finger on it, pull the tin foil off, and there you have your circle. And it is cut out. There you go. And we need one more of these, and then we need 3 of the bigger ones in paper, which work the same way. So I'm going to put you on hold, and then I'm going to make one more of these, and then I'm going to make 3 of the larger ones out of paper, which you make the exact same way, only you put the paper in between the plates instead of the tin foil. Okay, so I'm going to put you on hold. Okay, I'm back. I have cut out 3 more of these, actually 5 more, so we need some for the tab, and then 3 more of the aluminum foil ones that we need to glue on here, and I've already inked these. I probably should have glued these on, but I didn't. And then you're going to see what we're going to do. The name of the page, and I'm not sure if I said this before, and if I did, I changed my mind, and I'm going to call it Broken Beauty. And you'll see why in just a minute. Okay. Let's get this glued on here, and then we've only got one more to go. You just have to be careful gluing these on. This one's got a little piece that didn't cut, but it won't matter because you'll see in just a minute why it doesn't matter. I mean, you don't want to do it incorrectly. And one of these, the shiny side is not up, and on this one it isn't either. So those are actually mistakes. I like to point out my mistakes so that you know and you don't do them yourself. I don't think anyone will really notice that the mirror is frosty, and actually that might be good and go with our plan. Okay, we need to make sure those are glued on. So while we're waiting, let's go ahead and put the tab on. Now the tab I cut out of the part of the page that had the gold stripe on it. Okay, and I inked them. And what we're going to do is we're just going to turn them like this, and then we're going to glue them together on the page, leaving enough sticking out so that we have room for the tab. Now this has writing on it, so once we glue them together, we're going to have to make sure that when we glue it on the page that we have them on the right side up. Okay, so we're going to glue one of these all the way because it's going to stick on the back. Then we only have to glue one of these halfway because it's going to glue on this side on the paper, but this side is going to be glued to here. Now technically that's all you have to do, but I like to put a little ring of glue all the way around. Makes a little bit of a gooey mess, but that's all right with me. So I want to take this, because there's circles, and this is a little bit different than I would normally do it, and I want to stick it out from the page where I want the tab to be. And then I'm going to lay the other circle down, and I'm going to make sure that the text is going the correct way. and I'm going to glue it right on top of the other circle so that they line up. And then I'm going to glue it down. We're gluing it onto the paper and not onto the page. Okay? So we're going to glue it onto the paper. I'm going to wait for that to dry. Now these should be dry. And the reason we're going to call it Broken Beauty is because her self-image of herself is not pleasing to her. And so she has thrown the previous mirrors on the floor and broken them. So what we're going to do, I wonder if my decollage scissors will work, and cut them in a shattered pattern. Oh, look at that. That's perfect. Okay. And we're going to do this one. Make sure your glue stays down on both sides. We're going to do this one where she threw them on the floor and shattered them, and I guess you know what we're going to do with them. We're going to glue them in pile so that they look like they're broken mirrors on the ground. Okay, so let's glue one down. It doesn't really matter where, well, except that it must be at the bottom. So we'll glue on the paper side. I'm just going to put it here. I'll take another one and glue it. Let's put it up here. You know, because we have such high standards for ourselves and nobody meets that super high standard. I don't really care who you are. And so a lot of times being unhappy with our image in the mirror, it makes us unhappy with ourselves, and that isn't right. We should be happy with ourselves the way we are and not worry about our image in the mirror. We should worry about our image of ourselves, and that should be a good image. Everyone is good. They have something good about them. She's just thrown them all on the ground in a pile. She refuses to accept her image in the mirror. And so she has thrown them all on the ground in a pile. Okay? And that's all we're doing for this page. It's a very easy page. Let me show you with the crocodile. Now, what I would do, or what I'm going to do, is make the hole, and then I would set an eyelet in the paper using the other end, the other setting on the crocodile. So we want to set this to the largest, which is the 3/16, because that's the size of our our eyelet. And then we just want to punch a hole far enough in that, or far enough out that our eyelet will fit. And that the little jump ring will fit and our charm will hang off. Now, this being a circle and doing it in the center like this, we may need 2 jump rings. That's fine. You could just hook one to the next one and then put your charm on that. Easy peasy, no problem. Now, most of you are thinking, hey, Terry, you probably should have used a gold one for this. Well, I don't have a gold either. Plus, all the mirrors have silver on them, And so I feel perfectly fine with the silver shoe for the fashion, image, and then using a silver eyelet. Okay, now I haven't decided whether I want to put the lace on here or not. Which I could. That would go with our beauty theme, wouldn't it? Put this away. That's stuck to my finger. Let's see. Our eyelet would still stick out far enough to see. I think I'm going to put it on there. So let's run a thin bead of glue down, and then we'll trim the lace once we get it on there. We just need enough to hold the lace on. There's a piece of string, which obviously we don't need. So let's make sure the lace, the ruffled side, faces out. We'll start at the bottom, and we'll glue it in a straight line to where just a little bit sticks off the page. And then all we have to do is touch it to lay it down. This will go back in my scrap bin. That's why you save all your scraps. This is a scrap piece of lace. It wasn't on a roll. I didn't cut it. I think I'm going to move it out a little bit further. See if we can do that. Still keep it all straight. Okay. I really like the idea behind this page. I was having a lot of trouble coming up with what I was going to do with the foil, and so I hope that you guys like this page. I'm not going to glue it onto our backing page and glue it into the book, and I'll tell you why, and that's because, oh, let me put my die back where they go. I keep them in CD covers that I can't use for anything else because they used to have discs in them, and I wrote all over them to tell me what the disc was inside. So I just keep my die in them. It makes a good thing to do with them instead of throw them away, and keep them all in a drawer. A friend of mine, Cassie Snellsberg, she has her shop too. It's on her blog, and I will put the link below because I don't remember it right off the top of my head. Cassie, I apologize. Might be Cassie's Boutique. Here we go. So the reason I'm not going to glue it on is because I want to make sure where the eyelet is and where it hangs. And punch out completely. Let's push it back so that you can't see it. Okay. Because I want the eyelet to be in the right place. Now we could go ahead and put it on here. Yes, I think we could. So let's go ahead and do that part. And I wonder, since it sticks out, we probably could put it in the book. Let's go ahead and do that. Then our page will be all done except for the eyelet and the charm and the jump rings. You know, the minor details that make the page. I love, love, love that shoe charm. I wondered if I was ever going to be able to use it on anything. So I'm very happy that I was able to use it on this. Okay, we're just gonna run this down here right over the top of our tab. Make sure we're putting it on right side up. Get our little piece of lace out of there. Make sure we center this on the page. Remember, the lace is going to stick out a little bit, so go by the other 3 sides. You're not really going to be able to see this side, so just make sure these are all lined up. You know, I have a gold metallic marker, and I might go in and do her headband and do her waistband flowers in the gold metallic marker. So if you see the final image of this when I post the video and this is all shiny, then you'll know why. And then the little charm will be on for the thumbnail picture. So I hope you like this. This is our page, Broken Beauty. And oh, we were going to go ahead and put it in the book. Let's get everything out of the way. Let's get our book. I think we can. So let's go with this and do this, and then you can see it in the book, and the only thing that's lacking is the charm. How about that? Keep thinking I'm done. I'm not done. So now we're going to take this whole thing, and I said whole and not old. I'm going to take this whole thing, and we're going to glue it to the paper, to the page in the book. We're going to We're going to glue our paper to our page. The reason we work off the book, not directly in the book, is in case we make a mistake. We haven't made a mistake in the book. We've just made a mistake on our paper. We can fix it. We can start over. We can do whatever we need to do. However, in our book, we do need to make sure that the page is right side up. And then it's centered. So let's move that just a little bit. Move that over just a little bit. We're going to have a very small amount of room. I made the backing page just a little large this time, but that's going to help us with our tab, because then our tab will stick out a little bit further. So now that's in our book, ready to go. Sorry about that. We could have done that way ahead of time, or before now. So there's our foil page in our book. Our plans to leave it out of the book have been foiled. Bad joke number 1 for this video. Usually I have more. So there we go. All ready to go. Waiting for our charm. Charm will be on before we, the charm won't be on actually before this airs on Friday, but you know it's going to be there. And so if you watch the video, and I don't have to pick the prompt for next week, Kyung does, because I picked the prompt foil. I don't know why, but I did. And here's our page, Broken Beauty. So I will see you the next time, and that will be just a second for you and a day for me. Okay, bye-bye.